Are your nails? What are they?
Oh,
that's cool.
Thank you. I do this design a lot.
And that's green. So we're both Christmassy.
And green for plant vibes.
Yep.
Bree. Is it Bree Iman?
Bree, yeah. Iman's my middle name.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So my mom always called me Iman. So it's funny, like people call me Iman just in emails, and it's just so weird. I was like, my name's Bree, and I just go by it. So yeah. Okay. Iman, yeah, Bree Iman Clark.
It's so nice to see you again.
Thank you. It hasn't been 2 years. I mean, a year and a half.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
And we know that because I have fake plants in the studio, and I'm.
Yeah. It's okay.
I
was like
crumbling. I'm embarrassed. I don't even I almost was like, should I take him out of the room?
I'm like, okay.
What do I?
No, it's okay. We just need to get you. Is it just because you're lighting, or why do you why do you have fake plants? I really want to know.
I know. I haven't really tried too many different types of plants to keep alive.
Okay.
I did have one. I think it was that kind.
Okay. The palm.
A palm.
Yep. Majesty palm. A fake Majesty palm. Okay.
Emphasis on the fake.
Yeah.
And then I went out of town one time, and my friend, I asked her, sit. And she killed it. She actually didn't. It was just dying anyway. Yeah,
I just always wonder. I was like, what makes people go into the store and pick up a faux plant? And then it's like, they're not even cheap anymore.
They're so expensive.
They're really expensive. They're really, really expensive.
So could I get living plants?
Yes.
And we're going to go so much more into that.
They're plants that literally thrive off neglect. There's plants for every lifestyle. Every lifestyle. Low light, high light, travel a lot. Not a plant, have a black thumb, have a brown thumb. There's plants for everyone. That's really what the plant project is about. Yeah. We're just going to ignore these guys around us.
I honestly, at 5, it's almost 7 right now. And at 5 o'clock, I was like, oh my God. Normally I pick up my, vacuum and really pick up my house and my studio to make sure it's cute for someone. Yeah. And I was like, what do I do with fake plants?
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to hide them.
I do have one real one out there, and it's been
the Monstera, or was it the snake plant?
No,
I saw one.
The one by the TV.
Oh, that's a fake one too. Yeah, so
that's very fake.
You have a lot of fake plants. The thing is that you I understand person getting one, but you have multiple. You were serious.
Oh.
I'm gonna bring you some plants.
No, I'm gonna come visit you.
Okay.
And get some plants. But I do have one. I think I got it from you.
Okay. And it's still living good.
And it's living.
See?
Now it's lost a lot of
what was? I don't remember.
It's lost a lot of leaves. You know what I mean? They have gone brown and dead, and I picked them off.
Okay.
Also, I'm lazy and I haven't taken it out of the original pot. I think I got it in.
Oh, okay.
So I do think that that.
Gotcha. No judge. Okay, we're not judging anymore.
Yeah. But we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
But welcome to Adultish Wine.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
So I know a lot. I feel like people can say they know a lot about somebody.
Right.
What they see on social media.
Yeah. And social media is 0.3% of a person's life.
And it's obviously a highlight reel for so
Correct.
many people.
Yeah.
I try to do
or curated and what you call it.
I put everything out
there. I do. I'm really I feel like the Iman project is very this is Bree, this is my life, these are ups and downs.
Yeah.
This is all of it.
Okay.
Good, the bad, the ugly. The plant project is a little bit more curated, of course. But still dealing with real stuff, and just not just plant care, self-care. So I try to make them both relatable, but just it's just life.
Is the Iman project, it kind of seems, so you're the founder of
the
Iman project and the Plant project.
Yes.
And it kind of seems like the Iman project is a movement.
Yeah.
Or something.
It is. Well, that's a good, actually, that's really a good thing. No one's ever said that.
That's from what I get from you.
Iman project is basically truly Bree Iman's journey and my progression, my loss, my wins, the highs, the lows, and all balled up to what the community needs or what the community is missing. It's just my creative space that, actually, so, okay, what's really funny. So 2009 was when I first created, actually made the Iman project. Okay. 2007, 2009. And it was an event planning business.
Okay.
So I would host dinner parties, plan it for people, birthdays. It was just like, I just looked at one of my blog posts the other day, and it was like the who, what, when, and where of to like dress and places to go eat and things like that. So I would decorate the tables. And so somebody had a birthday party, somebody had an anniversary or whatever, order the cake, I'll do the thing. So that was the Iman project, a full on event planning, like little thing. And then it just like evolved, and just like it always kept the name, the Iman project, but it would become different things as I got older, as I started becoming, growing in different spaces. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. So I started as an event thing, then it went to workshops for the community. Then it went to furniture building. Then it led to studio space, event space and stuff like that. Still had the event vibe. It was just all still around events from like what the core was. And then led to the Plant Project. So it's just.
And this all started in Dallas?
Yes, in Dallas. I'm from Dallas. And I'm from here. No.
Oh.
I was born here in Missouri City.
Okay.
I went to Dallas in second grade. So I've been in Dallas since I was 7. So raised in Dallas. And that's why I brought a Plant Project here to Houston, because I wanted to bring one back home, because all my family's here. So it's just my husband, the boys, and my dad is in Dallas.
Okay. You have a husband, 2 twin boys.
Yes.
And your dad.
My dad.
Okay. And in Dallas. And so you just kind of kept the contacts and the the business that you built through all those furniture building? What?
Yeah, so I know. And it was all connected. So, so the Iman Project was started as an event planning business, then actually event styling and stuff like that. Yeah. And then it went to styling like tablescapes and table things of that sort. So then I wanted to start building the tables, and because it's like the farmhouse tables were super expensive. That's all the ones I was decorating. Yeah. And that was in 2017. So that's when the farmhouse thing was huge. Restoration Hardware had those farmhouse tables that were like thousands and thousands of dollars. Right. So I created Lavender Mint Designs, which was a farmhouse table business. Like, we created a farmhouse table that would fit 4 to 6 people with a bench, and we sold it for $250. And and I sold them all on Facebook. Before a Facebook garage sale and before the Facebook groups and stuff, I would just put it on Facebook and like sell it there. $250 with the bench. People would come to my house, drop off deposits for it. We built them in our garage, and I named it Lavender and Mint Designs because growing up, my mom would always have me pick lavender and mint for the sweet tea for our family. And that's what we would always have around dinner. And that was a gathering around the table. So,
oh my gosh, beautiful. Yeah.
So that just like
handy and meaningful.
Yeah. And so my dad like taught us how to do it. He brought down all his tools here from Houston because he wasn't with us then. And he taught Carlos how to build a table. And it was one style table, girl, one bench. It was like you could change your colors. Like we had you could change the color of your legs.
Sometimes you don't keep a business model so simple.
It was so simple.
Because some people don't.
Yeah.
First of all, I learned this at a restaurant that I worked at when I was young. Basically, I was a host, and the manager said, like, you need to guide these people when they come in.
Yeah.
You don't treat them like babies.
You have to.
But as a consumer, we are. We want to
be
you
tell people,
when to do it,
exactly.
How to do it, how much it is. This is how it's going to get done.
Yeah.
That makes it easier.
Exactly. It's so easy. So, and I think the colors I only did was white, black, and then it was like this Sherwin-Williams like baby blue that was super farmhouse blue.
Yeah.
We did that. And then I named them like after little cities that we would live in, areas in Dallas. So one was Greenville Avenue, one was Knox Henderson, Highland Park. So it's just like always had like the cute little branding touch to it. It hit off. It was like named one of the top 5 like strangest or weirdest things to find on Facebook. And it was the Art D magazine, and then Dallas Morning News wrote an article on it.
Okay.
And that was in 2016. And that's where it just all started. So that was 2016. 2017 led to the workshops. Okay. And that's where I did like the workshops on flowers, plants before like the Plant Project and stuff. I know. And then how to decorate the table. We did calligraphy, painting, and we called it On the Table workshops with a purpose because they were done on the farmhouse tables that we built.
Very cute.
So that's 2017.
You're very cute.
So that, and it was really focusing on just bringing people of all backgrounds together, like no matter your style, race, religion, idea, shape, size. I really was highlighting the idea of diversity and what it was more of. So that I love doing the workshops. That's why I still kind of incorporate the workshops. Yeah, still incorporate the workshops and all that I do. So that was 2017. And that just led 2018, 19, always at the workshops. They went virtual, of course, in 2020. Yeah. Between that time, I was doing the workshops at different places. Like I would go to Modern Market, Kona Grill, different La Madeleine's, different like restaurants and places to have them. So I didn't have an actual physical store or brick and mortar. So that's how I came up with the studios to actually have the workshops in the studios. So I got these little houses. So I did Little House of Bishop Arts, Little House on Ruth, rented them out. And that's why I made the studios where I would host the workshops. And then I opened it up for the community to host their workshops and launches and things of that sort.
And host events.
Yeah. So that was 2018, 19, and then 2020 came, and then the event business, of course, shut down.
Right.
So I had these event spaces, these studios, and I was an event-based business. So I started doing them virtually.
Okay.
And I would host them in the studio and started shipping out the boxes just to all over the place, the Bree Bloom boxes. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to turn this to a plant house.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how plants all became.
And so as far as so the plant projects, we just talked about this. You have 5?
No, so we have one in Houston, one in Dallas, and then Galveston. Okay. We closed the one, we had 2, remember, in Dallas, and I only have one now in Dallas, and then we have one here, and then we have another one opening here in Houston.
I'm very excited about that because that's close to me, and we're going to go get rid of these fake plates.
Yes, we are.
And you're going to
quickly.
Quick, fast, and
quickly. Yeah. Real quick.
So embarrassing.
I'm like, oh, she's loud. She's one there. There was one there. It's like, okay, alrighty. Okay, we're done.
I feel like the grandma with like the plastic on her couch.
Yeah, I know. It's about the same. It's about the same.
Yeah. Oh my god. Woo. Okay, so plant project. So you wanted to move to plants. How did that did you grow up?
I grew up with plants. I grew up with plants.
Some of us do, some of us don't.
Yeah, we know. Grew up with a lot of gardening. My mom was a huge gardener. All outdoor stuff. So inside, she had me take care of the indoor plants. Okay. And that was just kind of my thing to keep me busy. So I propagated them, I shined them, I watered them. I mean, I took care of all the plants. And it was just, since I was 7, I loved it.
Feel forced to?
No, I loved it. And I was real artsy too with it. So like I would make like little plant boxes that were like really, really ugly. But they were just like bedazzled and it's like I had all these childcraft books that she had when she was a little girl, and she like gave them to me, and I would just like create all the arts and crafts in them, and I would do them with plants and flowers and just all kind of little decorating things. Wow. Yeah. So since I was a little girl, April of 2020, I wrote a blog post about how plants make you breathe better, feel better, and like that they're more than aesthetics, that they really are help with like mental and emotional things, and how much they've helped me. And especially in 2020 when everybody was at home and a lot of people weren't ready to be home like that. And I wanted to highlight Black and Brown owned plant shops. Mm-hmm. I couldn't find a single one in Dallas.
Oh, really?
Not a single one. So I found New York, Minnesota, California, Tennessee, found them all over it. And I highlighted those and I shared those in the blog post. And then I was like, I'm going to open one here in Dallas. And that's how I started.
The first one.
Yeah. And so I did that in April, and then everybody laughed at me. And I didn't even tell Carlos. I think I kind of told him, and he was like,
"You were opening one?" Or
yeah, I didn't tell him the idea that I was opening. Nothing. Okay. So I told one of my girlfriends. She's like, well, "Where are you going to get the plants?" And I was like, "Oh, well, maybe I can like buy them from Walmart or Home Depot." And then the whatchamacallit, and I was like, "I'll figure it out and stuff." So I literally Googled, where do I find plants wholesale in Dallas? And what do I need to do to open this? So I found out what licensing I needed to get, the agricultural thing. I just like figured it all out online. And that's how I did it.
I mean, the world is at our fingertips.
It really is. You could, yeah. So we created, and so when I told my girlfriend, so that was in April, that I kept like thinking about it, and like November 7th, I was like, I'm going to do this. So we literally created the logo, the Instagram, the whole meaning behind it, all the stuff in 7 days. November 14th, I think I posted on Instagram, like the plant project, a place where plants and community grow.
You already had the studio.
Correct. I already had the space.
House.
Yeah. I already had the space. And I already had the brand, the Iman Project, that was a community-based brand. Right. You know, I was doing the workshops. Exactly. Everything that I've always done has been connected to the one before it and like aligns with what my true purpose is.
I even think more so now, just hearing about how the Iman Project started, I do feel like it's like very a movement.
You know? Yeah, that's great. I have to use that one. I've never thought about that. Yeah,
it's not just all the
it is
things
the thing
that you've done and the community and representation and the meaning behind it.
Yep, and that's what I wanted. Like the Plant Project is just like, you know, a lot of people don't think they can take care of plants. A lot of people think that they have to have a faux plant or that they're going to kill it, or they like have put so much perfection on them that if they see a brown leaf or a yellow leaf, they think that they're doing something wrong to it when it's just life. Like, I feel like plants and people are so much alike and aligned. It's like we go through seasons, we go through ups and downs. We have days that we're not shining and glowy and our leaves are glossy and whatnot. The same thing with your plants. So I wanted the Plant Product to be that, to teach people like, hey, life happens. And it's just as beautiful as when it's just the downs are just as beautiful as the highs. You know, the low, like it's peaks and valleys. And I've been through all the things. And I feel that that's just like the biggest thing that people need to hear, for the people that aren't ready to see that, are ready to know, like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to figure it out. It's okay to like not know. It's okay. Like, we give all of ourselves this fake grace because that's what like social media and society tells us, to actually giving ourselves real, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get down on yourself?
All the time. There's times that I can't even get out of bed. Right. You know, I mean, we all have that. Like everybody, you know, I was talking to one of my girlfriends the other day, and her brand, she's like, I don't ever want to show like the lows of the brand or show that the sad, because it's uplifting. Bree, I promote a positive message. And I was like, yeah, you do, but it's also part of your journey. Like, you're able to promote this positive, or you're able to see the positive because you had the negative. But if you're only showing all the positive all the time, that's not showing who you really are. So when you're going through those negative times, then you're going through it alone.
Right.
And yeah, that's why I'm quick to tell people, like, yeah,
I've been through this.
Yep, this.
I'm sad.
Yeah. You know, like, you ever seen that thing with, I think it's, with Tom Hanks, Jamie Foxx, Robert De Niro, and Shia LaBeouf.
It's a movie?
It's just like a moment. They're doing a podcast, and they're all around this table.
Oh.
You have to see that, and they're talking, and Tom Hanks tells, he's the one talking. He's just like, I wish I had told myself, this too shall pass. You know, having a good day, this too shall pass. Having a bad day, this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. You know, don't, like, everything passes. And then showing like how time is your friend. Like, everything passes.
Right.
So
even the good.
Even the good.
Can you tell me, you seem like a hardworking, obviously, go-getter. Like, you are, is it you and your husband or the team?
Yeah, we're the team. We have a good team behind us too. So it's just not us. Like, I mean, I live in Dallas and we have the shops here. Yeah. So it's a lot of back and forth, but we have a really good team. We've gotten to the point where we have a team that is like not only rooting for the Plant Project, but rooting for Bree and Carlos, and rooting for themselves within the brand. I think that's so, that feels really good. So we have that. I have my dad who like really helps with so much behind the scenes of it. Yeah, even my mom, even though I fire her all the time and she gets rehired, she's fired right now, but she even helps. A lot of my design and ideas and decor comes from my mom. My mom has a lot of style, so that comes from
a good support system.
I do. Yeah.
I don't know if there's been specific things in your life, whether it's growing up or maybe more in your adult life, things that have like shaped you and
so many different things.
Like made you I am boots on the ground. I'm going to keep going. I'm not giving up. I'm not going backwards.
You know, I'm a very resilient girl. I think because Like, well, I have a pass. Like, everybody has a pass. Yeah. I've been in and out of jail since I was 17 years old. Okay. I was a shoplifter. I did like all the little things. I spent time in prison away from my sons. Okay. I did that for their first year of them being here. Really? Yeah. So, and it was the silliest thing. I should have went to jail for some real stuff. But I went to jail for this was Jehovah God. Like, look, we're gonna lock you up on this silly one so you can get your life together. I went to jail from picking up an ID. I was drunk at a club. I picked up an ID off the ground and I got pulled over. And you're not supposed to have someone else's ID. So it was fraudulent possession of ID. Damn. Yeah. Gina. But I went to jail because I didn't check in for probation. Oh, no. And I didn't check in for years. Wait, I forgot about it. No, you did not. I did this before I met Carlos, and probably 5 years into our relationship, or no, probably about 3 years.
Shit will always catch up with you.
3 years into our relationship, I got pulled over on the tollway, and they're like, "Hey, you have this warrant out of Houston." And I was like, "What? For what?" And it was from that, and I was like, I knew you were a thug, but what? And I was pregnant with the boys. No. Yeah. Yeah. So, finally, so the judge, let me have the boys. I mean, well, she was pissed when I finally, because they had been for years, oh, we're just now getting back to this. Right. So hey, okay, you got to serve some time for this. We've been looking, you've been on the run, Thelma and Louise, Bonnie and Clyde for a while. But they let me have the boys, get the boys settled. Because I told them, I was like, hey, I have to have my sons. I'm not going to have my sons in jail in Harris County. Have my sons and my mom, and my parents stuff. They didn't have to do that. Carlos still stayed in Dallas and came down to visit all the time. But I had the boys moved in with my parents. Okay. And they were there for a year.
You were in prison for a year. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So yeah, I'm pretty tough. Pretty resilient.
I mean, and Harris County. I'm not going to ask you today.
Harris County is no joke.
But I'd like to hear more about.
What's so crazy? So So to this day, like Miss so Officer Jackson is so amazing. I keep in touch with her to this day. Okay. So this is how well I did events. I was like the event planner for the sheriff's office for the employees to the thing. Like that's what I like. Yeah. So I would help do the tables. I worked in the main little offices because they were so Officer Jackson, she had went through. And she picks out 2 people that whoever come in to be on work with her or whatever. And so she looks, she's like, oh, that's a cute little girl. Let's see, what does she do or whatever. So I mean, of course, they didn't get people with violent crimes and stuff like that. Or
right. Not around the scissors.
Yeah, exactly. So she pulled me out, and I worked with her, and I did the paperwork, planning,
You were an all-star prisoner.
Yeah. I learned a lot. I know it's so not. Sorry. It was very traumatizing. It was very, very traumatizing.
Oh my god, that is nuts.
Yeah,
especially that it happened so much later.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whoa. So, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you have probation, guys, go check in. But it's the system is just so fucked up. It's just it keeps you the system, and I just got out the system June of last year.
What does it mean in the system?
So where you check in with probation, where you make payments, where you have to go do your analysis and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I have been doing that for the past 10 years, still checking in. I had to, I've been on it for so long, so I could do it online.
Okay.
Excuse me. So, I would email over, or sometimes you have to come in. They're do random UAs and stuff like that, and you couldn't drink. You couldn't smoke. You couldn't do, you had to travel. I got my probation extended because, I went to jail, right? Then I was able to get out, but then I had to do other terms and stuff. My terms, I could either do longer time in jail, less probation, or do less time in jail, more probation. I chose the more probation, which was really, really long. But I did a TED Talk in 2018 or 2019. I got in trouble because I didn't get approval from a thing, so I got more probation.
Not the prisoner doing a TED Talk.
Yeah, so I did a TED Talk on community, on going to my story in New York. At TED, I did it at CUNY University, and I got in trouble for that.
Wow.
Yeah. I got an extension. I got an extension.
Longer probation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You gotta laugh about it.
If you don't laugh, you'll
cry.
cry.
So, and then on top of that, like, honestly, to this day, like, I had to pay my way out. I paid a shitload of money.
It's like Monopoly, you have to actually pay to get out of jail.
It's true. I paid so much money to just be completely out the system. And I mean, where I don't have to check in, I don't have to get permission to get to travel.
So
yeah, it's so broken, and it's made for you not to get out
and not succeed.
Yeah, made
even when you are
exactly
out of the walls.
Yeah, when you get completely out, like most people never get completely out. I mean, I probably paid like $28,000 to get out, and just even over time. Yeah, and even it was one time when I was trying to pay like my last. It was like I paid online, and then I went actually to the office to pay. And they wouldn't let me because I had already paid. Like, you have to wait. You can't pay 2 times in 24 hours.
You pay too quick.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So that was on Friday. And they're like, oh, you have to come back the next day. I was like, it's Saturday. They're closed. And then Sunday it's closed. They're like, oh, well, you have to come back Monday. And that was my final payment to get out of the thing. But I had paid it online on Thursday at midnight. And then I came in on Friday to pay it. And they said, you couldn't. The thing.
I mean, that is really wild.
Yeah. And Carlos, like, he's like, if I wasn't standing here next to you, I would never believe this. Like, he's like, this is truly
sounds made up.
Yeah. This is truly the system. So when you would go check in for probation, your appointment would be at 12 o'clock. You know what time you would be seen?
5.
1:30. Like, you could, and then you're supposed to tell your job that you're, yeah, so you're supposed to put, where you were
in good standing with your job and a good citizen and all this.
Yeah.
Like, you can take your sweet ass time.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like, nobody puts you in the system except yourself. So it's a learning lesson. I'm really good at dealing with my consequences and like taking my whatever I get and like learning from that. And like I said, like I went to jail for the most randomest thing, but I've done my share of shit.
Right.
So that's probably and then that's the thing too, like, it's different times now than it was 10, 15 years ago. Now it's like when you say that you went to jail, it's not as like as traumatizing. It's like, oh my gosh, you're a horrible person, because life things happen.
Right.
And now you're able to explain it more and stuff like that. But, things like that. I just think about all the people that can't get, jobs and places to live, and it's like it affects every single thing.
This is such a random thought, and you may not have an answer for this, but you were talking earlier about how obviously plants promote, happiness and healing and growth and all this stuff and positivity, and obviously help with anxiousness.
Yep.
And mental health. Are there any plant things that can be done in jail and prison? So
Carlos and I have been talking about that. Okay. So you know how they have like prison and Pilates and stuff like that?
No.
Yeah.
She said no. I have not gone to a prison and Pilates class. That's hilarious. No, because in my head I know that like they do welding and they're doing trash pickup.
So they do like
prison firefighters.
Yeah. So they do prison Pilates. They have I think they do have like some blooms, and I mean there's just different things. But yeah, I have thought about like ways to, because that's the thing, like while I was in there, it's just like I heard just so many stories, saw so much. Just like I remember there's this one lady, she was in there and then she was getting out when I was coming in, and she was all clean, and she had like, and she was a little older too. And she basically she had cleaned it up and was good to go and looked amazing. And she had been there probably like 6 months. And 2 weeks later, she was back and she just looked like death. And she couldn't even remember who I was. So it's almost like these women did not want to leave because it's like they had nothing to go to. They had no other thing. Yeah. And I just remember seeing her and just like, and she was just complete, and she was so good when she left.
Not me almost crying.
Yeah.
That's so,
yeah.
I mean,
it was so good. And then,
so real.
Yeah. And then finally, like after she had kind of like, when she started coming around and like when she was coming down and finally getting through it and whatever. And I was just like, like what happened and the thing. And she was like, what else I was going to do out there?
Right. I'm going to have a roof over my head in here.
It's a cycle. So,
simple.
Yeah.
Okay, you might have to come on another time and we need to talk more
exactly.
more in depth about like what we can I don't know, what you experience and what we can do and all that. Wow,
I know.
That would be something that
it's like I think about it all the time. I think about homelessness because Carlos and I, we slept in our car. We didn't have anything like when we first got together. I think about just the things that we've had happen to us and the stuff that we go through. And just like, what can I do to, like, you can't save everyone and fix everything. And it's just like, and what you do is just moving the needle just a little bit, but it's something. But I think about all that. I think that's why I'm so adamant about the workshops and the workshops until like the Bree Blooms is a place for all to bloom, having those uncomfortable conversations, talking just about real life stuff and not just about the fluff and making pretty flowers, but like when you work with your hands and you have like intentional conversations with someone you may not know, it just creates like those moments. We just did a plant prosecco reef class Sunday. And one of the ladies was like there, and it's just like she was back there just making her reef and just having like her moment in her time. And it was just like her self-care. So, yeah. It's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I could see you like going to the White House.
Girl, stop.
If it happens.
Okay, that's like, hey.
Like implementing some.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only a small piece of you that I learned, but implementing something amazing like that for people that need it.
I mean, I feel like prison, really did shape, like how you were saying how like different stuff and everything. Like it wasn't a bad thing to happen to me. You know, it wasn't the best thing, but it's almost like what I needed. It helped me become a better wife. It helped me become a better daughter, a better mother for sure. Like truly learned and taught me what lifestyle and what life I did not want to live. So, yeah.
Yeah, and when you said he was shoplifting, that was just for fun?
Oh, yeah, that was just like I did 17 and stuff. I did like Dillard's and Nordstroms and stuff. That is like, and I had like my parents' credit card and all this stuff, but I was just like silly and entitled and yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, I want it. Let me take that.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Wow. Okay, and then anything in... Obviously, I know you're on social media a lot and deal with a lot of other
social media
entrepreneurs, businesses, influencers. Maybe do you? Yeah. I mean, obviously, don't name anything that you don't want to, but anything stands out like in the business life that has shaped you?
You know, like I said, like people always like the message; they don't like the mess. So I feel that people are always into the glamour of things and not really what shapes you to become what you are. Meaning like I've gone through cancel culture. I've gone through the highs of like, oh my gosh, everybody wants to work with you.
Do you cancel things if you don't agree?
No.
You just won't partake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like first off, cancel culture is dead to me. I feel that it's just like run by people that won't say shit to you in your face. And I'm one of like, if you have something to say it to me instead of like just putting it on, trigger fingers and put it on the thing. I feel that it's a coward move and that people do it because they don't have enough backbone to actually speak up, about the thing.
Feel comfortable behind it.
Exactly. And that's just the world we live in now. Like it's quick for people to say something, make a comment on a picture or have their opinion and do other thing. And that's just like, I think recently I heard like somebody said like social media cannot be so social. And that's just what it is now. So.
Social media cannot be so social.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Social media is not so when you think of a social, what is it?
Like a gathering, interacting.
It's happy, right?
Happy.
Yeah. So is all social media happy?
No.
Exactly. So social media cannot be so social.
Yeah. No, it's really become a very like
I had a friend, like I was like, oh, I can't find her Instagram. Where did the thing? And she was like, I was overstimulated and in not the good way. And she's I mean, I feel like if it's something that you have to step away to feel better,
right,
that's not the best thing.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that is like you have to unfollow people in real life,
right,
because that's not like the best. So, I mean, it's a gift and a curse for me because I mean, I built the plant project on social media.
right.
I mean, it was the first Black woman-owned plant shop in Texas, so the viral like I today don't have a TikTok. My sons have TikTok, but they say it's all over TikTok or whatever.
It's so hard.
Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, I mean, that's where, most of our businesses come. But I also have built relationships outside of Instagram because my whole thing is like, if all that goes away, a lot of these people have these brands and these businesses that if that social media goes away, Facebook goes away, they have nothing.
Right.
So me, especially working like all the jobs and having all the stuff that I did before the plant project, before Iman project, those are the lasting relationships that I've used even to this day to grow plant shop, Iman project and stuff like that. But in the business world, I feel that I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not the best money manager, so I have messed up with money a lot of times. I'm the creative aspect of it, but the business side of it, sometimes I'm not the best. Okay. But I know that. So I put myself in better positions now, where it's like I have different people that can take care of that. Being more like open with Carlos and like telling him like what's going on and not me just holding everything and trying to figure everything out myself. But I mean, I've had times where, it was either, not like, it was like just trying to figure stuff out. Like, I feel like people think that you can't make mistakes as business people. Businesses they move so fast now. And it's just like social media, Instagram, you can build a business so quick. Right. But building a sustainable business is
not quick.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some hits and peaks.
Yes. There. And that's the part that I don't think that people are prepared for or people are ready for to go through the bad times with it. I know when we first moved to open the shop at Buffalo Terrace, I was blowing and going, rolling in Dallas. Like, I mean, you couldn't do anything in Dallas without touching the Iman project or the plant project. I mean, it was just everywhere. And then it's like, I thought it was going to be that here in Houston. Houston and Dallas are so different. And I'm from Houston, so I had a little bit better chance. Houston people rock with Houston people. Right. And it's not that whole, how Dallas is more cliquey, more like, oh, it's who you know. Yeah, who you know and stuff like that. So even like with like the vendors and stuff, I brought vendors from Dallas to work with me here because I just didn't really know anybody in Houston yet. And I had to figure stuff out, build relationships and stuff like that. Okay. But it's just learning kind of just like what works and what doesn't work. And you have to do that with failure. And that's what I just feel like people just don't want to.
You have to be okay to fail.
Yeah. You have to be okay to fail. And then you have to be okay to show your failure. Like, I've fallen in front of like the masses. Yeah. That's the thing. And it's just like, but you get up and you just can't. That's what I think people just don't. Like Carlos always says, like, Bree, you're different. And then even like some people that I talk to on Instagram, and I have a friend, Takia, and she just wrote a book, Brown Girls Do Ballet. And she was like, I could not do what you do. I could not fall in front of masses and like gotten back up and keep going. But I'm like, if you don't keep going, like, what do you do? I remember when I was, go back to jail. I don't know why I keep talking about Harris County, but they had so many people in Harris County, so they were letting people out early. And I had a revoke of probation because I didn't check in on my probation. So revoke of probation, you have to do your time day for day. You don't get like an early release. But they had told everybody like, hey, we're so filled, like everybody's going to get out early or whatever. So just keep checking in so you could write down your date of birth and your number, your ID number, and they'll tell you like your release date. And so I remember telling Carlos, like, yeah, I'm going to get out early. Like, they're cutting the time in half or whatever. Instead of this many, instead of a year, I'm going to do this many months and all this stuff. And he was like, you don't know, like, yours is different and all this stuff. And I went in and I finally got the answer, like, hey, yours is gonna, well, what I already knew, yours is day for day. You're not revoking probation, doesn't get out early. And I went into the closet, like, there was some file I was filing, and I went in the closet and I just like broke down in the closet. And Miss Officer Jackson, she came in and she was like, you need your moment? And I was like, yep, need my moment. I broke down. I mean, like, I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this time here in Harris County? Like, it was hard in there. And this was before I was like actually moving over to the work pod. It was like general population. It was rough. And I was like, I can't deal with this. I can do it. And I just broke down. And I just remember just falling down and just sitting on the floor. And then something was like, if I break down, if I don't get up now, either I'm going to be someone's bitch or it's going to be a really, really, it's going to feel like years. And everything that I do today, I think about that time.
Wow.
Every single thing. Every hard time, every bad time, I think about that time.
Aww.
And I got up. So when people are like, oh, how do you get up? How do you do it? How do you, like, you have to.
You have to.
Nobody's going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So, I've never said that out loud.
Thank you for sharing that. No, that's really meaningful.
Yeah.
And hard to...
Yeah. But I mean, that's where it comes from. It's just that time. And I remember Officer Jackson walked in and she was like, you need your time? I was like, yep. And she closed the door. And I said, I was in there for a long time. And I was like, okay, I have to get up. I was like, not going to be someone's bitch. It's going to be a long, long time. And I can do this.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're up.
Yeah. And I still fall and I still think, and that's the thing. I was like, nothing is so bad that you can't get up. Nothing. The only time you can't get up is if you're dead. And then some people be like, well, you got yourself in that. And it's like, yeah, I did get myself in it. But I think it's just so important for people because people go through stuff and people feel, there's so many people that feel like they just can't get through it. And that's what it's just like, I just want people to know, like, you can be broke. I mean, there's times when Carlos, we didn't have enough to buy a Coke. We didn't have enough to get a slice of pizza. Like, I mean, we slept in our car. You can go through stuff and there is an out and and it'll take some time and it'll take a lot of work. I know we're not at our wine yet, but that's like one of the things I feel like people just don't want to work now. People don't want to put in the work.
I know.
I mean, life is hard.
I agree with you. Every time I hear that statement, I think of Kim Kardashian now, of course. Like,
I know.
People just don't want to get up and work. But I agree with her. I'm on that
I agree with her too. And the thing is, like, that girl works.
Yes, 100%.
And she really doesn't have to work now. She's already paid her dues and did her little stuff or whatever. But I mean, she works. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, did you see that thing recently with Tariji Henson? 3G.
Yes.
And then how she's like, people are like, oh, you work so hard and all you're doing is working. You have to.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can have.
She was specifically talking about
just being a Black woman and just women of color, just how they still have, and like how it doesn't translate to the UK or and how somebody was like, man, you're just always doing movies. You're just always working. And it's like,
you must be rich. You must be.
Yeah, no. And then like all the people you pay and all the stuff. And that's another thing too. I think like people think as business owners that you have all this and you do this. And I know like with people, they'll be like, oh, you get tons of business with the plant shop and tons of things. It's just like, it's so much. I feel social media has created a fake world of like what stuff is and not like reality. And so that's why people are so out of touch with reality and then out of touch with like how they deal with things, how they connect with people, just like all of it. It's just like, and then especially after the pandemic, like people really don't know like how to deal with one another.
Do you feel like you have to work twice, 3 times as hard being a woman of color?
Oh, yes.
In this world,
I never,
in the
plant world, real world, motherhood, all of it. I am never allowed to turn off. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. I'm not allowed to sit down. I'm not allowed to turn off. I've gotten a little better at trying to do less, but my less is still someone's more, or what the most the person would do.
Well, because of obviously everything that you've been through.
Yeah. So, and I also made a promise that if I was to get through what I got through, that I would never go down that path again, and that I would do everything to, just pay my dues, put in the work and whatnot. I do love to work. I'm not going to say that. Like, I love creating. I love, just, it sounds cliche. I love growing a greener tomorrow because I think about what's going to be for my sons. I love creating, I love creating something that I know my boy, not even, maybe they don't want to plant shop. Maybe they don't want, the thing, but I'm creating a world that is better for them. And that's what I do it for. So. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm crying over here on this damn couch. Goodness. I know, running. I'm messing with my makeup.
Get some of your Moscato.
I know. I already had an accident in the car with my outfit. Now I'm just like.
It's a great night. It's a great night. No, and honestly, I've talked about things endlessly on obviously a lot of my personal, and I know you said you're an open book. And,
yeah.
What you said about that moment in the closet is extremely, I think it's going to help the listeners. And it's something that I've done myself. And I've talked about this on the podcast, but I was sexually assaulted.
Okay.
And at first I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I had to have that moment of, because I was just robotic through life for a little bit.
Exactly.
Everything was fine though. Like I was fine.
Hey, I'm fine. It's fine. Yeah.
I wasn't even trying to be funny about being like, fine.
Fine. Yeah.
But it wasn't until I allowed myself a moment similar to that.
Yeah.
And then I told myself, you got to get back out on the horse again, girl.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get out there. You got to go on a date.
Yeah.
You got to try this, because if you don't, you won't.
You won't. Yeah.
You'll never do it. You'll always be scared.
Yeah.
And I think that can happen a lot in just honestly everyday mundane things in life too. Doing a presentation at work, flubbing up your lines.
Yeah.
Like,
we just, like we all, I don't know. It's just like, we all have hiccups. We all have mess ups. And I feel like it's just become like, oh no, like you can't have that, or it has to be this, perfect and whatnot. But it's like, I fucking love my flaws. Like, I love them. It's taught me who I want to be, who I don't want to be. It's shown me to understand other people better that have their flaws that they don't see, or they don't know. I mean, it's just like, it's allowed me to love Bree more and just to get to know Bree. And I feel like we don't embrace our flaws and embrace our imperfections. I feel like that's what why Carlos and I do so well together, is because, someone was like, we were watching this older couple and they've been married 50 something years. And it was like, how do y'all still together on this stuff? And they're like, we're for each other. We take care of one another. And that's with Carlos and I. Carlos and I met online 2009 on blackplanet.com. We didn't have anything. I think I had all my clothes in trash bags, and I used to wear these black leggings and the scarf and this little cardigan. He had this blue little luggage, and I always wore these gray sweats that kind of had and this blue LA hat. Excuse me. And that's all we had. But we took care of each other. And to this day, now 14, 15 years later, like you help each other out.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what people have lost, like in relationships, lost in marriages, friendships, and stuff like that. And that's how it works with us.
I
like
saw something that said recently, like a relationship is actually not 50-50. A relationship is going to be 90-10.
Yep. It's
maybe
not
20-80.
It's never 50-50. Never 50-50.
Like your partner needs to be there
exactly.
when you're almost at zero capacity.
Yeah.
And it's not 50-50.
No. The times I can't get up, Carlos is there for me. The times he can't get up, I'm there for him. And that's what, it's not a partnership. It's like you just take care of one another. And then I see so many like divorces and so many, and it's like, I'm in no place to judge another one's relationship or whatnot, but it's just, that's what has worked for us. And that's what, helping each other and just being there.
Yeah, just having a support system.
Yeah. So important.
It sounds like you got one.
Yeah, I do. He's a pretty cool guy.
Oh.
Yeah. And we have our... Oh, goodness. That one right there. That's a doozy. That's another episode.
You know what? Moms always are.
Yeah,
right?
That's another episode.
The best moms.
Yeah.
Because everyone is always going to mess up. And
yeah.
We have to be...
Yep. Exactly.
Okay with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Choose to be.
Have to. It's funny though, you're able to, with motherhood and like with parents, it's like, especially as me with my boys, I'm able to see like how I want to raise my sons and like kind of just get an idea of what we've never spanked our boys. Mm-hmm. We don't believe in spankings. And it's so funny because Carl and I got beat. Like our parents believed in spankings and everything. And, just like really like harsh punishments and stuff like that. And like our boys, it's just like.
Did you have a conversation about that? About like you two together saying like, we were beat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we did. And we support each other on our parenting things and stuff. And Carl's, I feel like he's kind of like the hard one. He's not really hard. And I'm the one, like, they're my perfect boys. Like I have the perfect child and the favorite child. So I mean, that's two really good things. No, they've been like that since So Kai is the perfect child. Like he is perfect in everything he does. Okay. And he's 4 minutes older. And Kale is the favorite child. And Kale, like, he loves his mama. He's going to come and just give me all the kisses and just tell me how beautiful I am and the thing. And Kai's the perfect one. And he's going to come and be like, do you need anything, Mom? You want me to fix you something? Like they just, perfect and favorite. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No. Those are both very positive things. So
yeah, exactly. They don't even care. They're like, Kel's like, I'm the favorite. Well, Kai's like, well, I'm perfect, Kel. So yeah, exactly.
That's fine. I like being this one.
I like being perfect.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I mean, I opened the plant shop because it was a lack of Black and brown owned plant shops in Texas, especially. Texas just has its own little thing that's going through with our wonderful governor. And
Lord
that,
have mercy.
Goodness, he just needs to whatever. But it really is. I mean, for our uterus, for our thing, is all of it. It's just out of control.
Scary.
So I just really wanted to highlight like the beauty of like diversity and just different cultures and what community is. And it's like, that's why I feel like that's why so many people are drawn to the Plant Project. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you walk into our stores, you feel welcome no matter who you are, no matter what color, no matter your size, your ID, or ethnicity. And that's what I wanted in every single shop that we have. And I mean, I had people messages from all over, saying like, hey, I just feel so good when I walk in, or this is one of my bucket lists, or they come from out of town. They come from like, I mean, they're just known. Like we're known in like Ideal Home in UK. Like, I mean, it's just cool to have like a brand that is really about growing a greener tomorrow that makes you feel good. That's pretty. That's something that I love. That's just making people connect with nature, themselves, and others. Like you can't get like really better than that. It's a hard time right now for plant shops. Okay. Just recently, like on Instagram, I've been seeing so many shops close, a lot of shops close. It's because like everybody was opening a plant shop. There are plant shops everywhere. And some people were just opening for the wrong reasons, opening because everybody was having plants, during the pandemic. So they're like, oh, let's open a plant shop. It's great money. It's great profits and everything. But they were opening for the wrong reasons. And I feel like they were opening more for our audience instead of for a community. And I always highlight the difference between an audience and community. You know, an audience is like, you're there to perform for them. They're there to keep them entertained. It's something that they want to see what you're going to do for them, not what they can do for you, or what you can do together. A community is a place where they're rooting for you. They're growing with you. They're not there just to watch you entertain them, but they're there to grow with you. And I feel like a lot of the shops open it for audience instead of for the trendy things. And when you have that, you have a fickle crowd. You have the stuff that fades away, trends fade, something comes in. But we have, and everything that I've done and everything that my family has built has always been community based. From Lavender and Mint Designs, from the Iman project, from the workshops to the plant project. Yeah. It's all stuff that the little houses, Little House of Bishop Arts, Little House on Ruth, they're all community based for just not my family to grow, but for the community to grow and for you to grow within your community, the thing. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you plan on expanding outside of Texas?
No.
Too much.
Too much, yeah. Too much. You know, sometimes I think about like, oh, what if I like franchise it or not like franchise it, but like create it where, audience. Yeah, exactly. It takes away the thing. Yeah. So, and then it's like, I still have my little snot swirling from earlier. It's like it's a historical thing. Yeah. So I think about that also. I was just like, you can't recreate that.
Right.
Like, it's not even, it's history. So, and I don't think I want to recreate that or sell that off and make that.
You're not like doing it for the clout.
Exactly.
You're doing it for the community. For the impact.
Exactly. I love making things beautiful. I love just creating spaces that make you feel good. I've loved that since I, was a little girl.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it definitely shows. Okay. Before we go to a wine of the week.
Okay.
You said there's a plant for everyone.
It is. It is for every type. Let me put the microphone closer for that. Yes. Okay. Would you like to know the different plants for different people? Okay.
Plants,
all right. So, ones that thrive off neglect.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, you only have to water it once a month. So you can leave. You can forget it. Even 2 months. Okay. Sansevieria and snake plant. So they come in different colors as well. And they come as like well fins, moonshine, like different shapes, colors, types. You don't have to water them that much at all. Okay. And they can do both lighting. So you can do, you can do indirect lighting. You can do a little brighter lighting. Here in Houston, everybody puts their plants outside. So you can even put it outside, even your house plant. But yeah, it's really, really easy to take care of.
Okay. Would those be good for this?
Yes. Your snake plants would do amazing in the setting.
Okay.
Yeah. ZZ plants are also another one that thrives off neglect. They actually have a little more leafy feel to it. So your snake plants it's also called a mother-in-law's tongue or sansevieria is straight up. The ZZ plant kind of goes out and has like leaves on it and a more like fluffier feel. So if you want a little bit more texture, those are easy. You also have your pothos. Okay. And you have different ones. So you have Scindapsus, you have Pothos and Joy, you have Neon, which is like a bright one. You have Golden Pothos, you have Jade, and they give you a trailing effect. So if you want to put it like on a shelf or a desk, it'll start trailing down, and they're very forgiving. So if you forget to water them, even after 2 to 3 weeks, you can water them, they'll come back.
That's nice.
Yeah, so very forgiving. You also have Monsteras. Monsteras are big and bushy. They want a little bit more lighting with it. They're not as hard. So you have different Monsteras. You have a Swiss cheese. You have a baby Monstera. You have just like all different styles. Their watering, you're probably doing about every 2 weeks or so with them. So a little bit more watering than your snake and your pothos. So I always tell people to start off with those.
Okay, those are good
beginner plants.
And do you have to take it out of its original container?
No. So you can keep them in the grower pot. That's your original container. It's a grower pot. You can get like pots or like baskets, like a Target or whatever. Put the pot in the basket. I always tell people like bottom watering is always the best. That way you can like it keeps you away from overwatering. Also, it keeps away gnats and bugs. So you get like a little clear container. Yeah. You put it in the bottom of a basket or a thing, and you set your plant in there. You put the water. Okay.
My one real one.
See. Okay. So bottom watering. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Bottom watering.
Okay.
Yeah. The ones that are difficult and the ones, well, I wouldn't say like a peace lily is not difficult. She's just dramatic. So she tells you when she wants to be watered. So her leaves go down, and then when you water, they come back up.
I wouldn't mind that though.
But people will be like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna die, it's dying." But right when you water, her leaves will go up.
Okay.
Your calatheas, which are like my favorite, they're very, a little bougie and dramatic. Okay. They like filtered water. They're more of a lower type, indirect type light person. They like humidity, so they want a little spritz or water from the bottom. And when you plant it or put it, it has to be on pebbles. So yeah, she's beautiful. Like they have rattlesnake, they have red maranta, you have pinstripe, peacock.
Who told you that the plant needed filtered water? The plant told you that?
I mean, when you look at it, like the water's too harsh. So when you start seeing like brown edges or whatever, that means it's humidity. So I mean, you just
it's really wild.
Yeah, you have to play around with your plants to see what it needs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What about a fig?
Fiddly figs. So fiddly figs, they thrive off consistency. So watering has to be consistent. A lot of misting action happening. Their whole thing with them is just they don't like to be moved around a lot. So once you get it, you put it in that spot. They do like a lot of bright light, indirect light type. So they don't want to be like out. They don't like to be outside. Make sure you keep it in the thing. And then they don't really like to be repotted until they're root bound. Because when you disrupt the roots, it's going to go in shock, and then the leaves will start dropping, and then it's just a lot of stuff. Yeah.
This is a whole science.
We do like a Flourish 101 plant care and self-care class. And I do that once a month at the shop. So it like teaches people bring in all their plant questions.
In Dallas and
Dallas and Houston. People bring in all their plant questions and be like, "Oh, I have this, and my plant's turning yellow and it's brown and all the leaves." Yeah, we do that. Yep, we drink wine and we eat, and everything has their little plant stories. And then I have one for guys only, and it's called Plant Papi. And the guys like really bring in their plants. Like, I'm like, "Hey, y'all just show me your picture or whatever." They bring in their plants. They're like, "Yeah, so I have this one and it's doing this and this." And it's like so cool to see. That's also why I love it as well.
That is
like,
so
I love the
cute.
plant thing because it's like, it lets men be vulnerable and like share their stories and show like a softer side and them taking care of the plants.
Okay, first of all,
and
I'm coming to one of these.
I know. And then one of my friends was like, "Why don't you, Bree, do like a matchmaking plant thing?" And then I was like, "I think I'm going to do that in February."
Sign me up.
For Plant Papi other day. There you go.
Because it's like,
and we should, and then do like a live podcast there.
Yes,
that would be really cool with real plants around us.
No, okay, so yes, let's do that.
Yeah, that's really
first.
Cool.
But second, now that you've been in my space, I want to come to the new. Is it? When is the Heights location?
Okay, so the Heights first week of January. I'm shooting for. Yeah.
Okay, so once the Heights location is open,
yes,
I want to come, and you've seen the space, so I want you to help me pick out.
Yes, I already got them picked out. Yes, I already got.
I want the height.
Yep.
And I am gonna get a table here because I want people.
And then you should have one like where you can. Yeah, you need to keep Kleenexes in here.
I'm gonna keep
please.
People can put their wine.
Yep.
So I want.
And then you get like a pothos that can trail down and be fluffy and pretty, and then it can be. Space. Oh, it'll be right here. It'll be so cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, I like it.
Yay! Okay.
And then they have pink plants.
Yeah,
and aglaonemia, aglaonemia is an amazing plant. It's a pink tie. Aglaonemia are also a sparkling Sarah, and it'll go perfect in here. And you don't have to water it as much. It's another one that does like really low maintenance.
What about bugs? Lots of bugs?
Oh my gosh, no. Bugs only come from if you water too much. So that's why bottom watering is always good. Bugs come from like too much water, too much moisture, in the thing, and then not cleaning your leaves or wiping your leaves.
I didn't know we had to clean or wipe
leaves. You want to wipe your leaf.
I've never wiped that guy's leaf.
Which one?
Outside.
Oh, the poor guy that's been in the same girl. He's okay.
I'll have you look at that on the way
He's
out.
immune to his environment.
He loves his mom.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
Oh my gosh.
I think I still have a picture of you buying your plant. The thing, because you had like the green top on, and a short sleeve, and you were just so happy and grinning next to Rachel.
I actually was so happy.
Yep.
That day.
No.
Being in the plant shop. Oh, it was beautiful.
That's one of the pictures that I use. So Montrose Collective Shop is a little different because it's more retail, but the one in the Heights is going to be like how I did the one, just real homey and just like, and it's the Plant Project and Provisions. So I'm just gonna have a little different take on it. So it's still gonna be plants and everything, but like we have a hat bar in there with Magnolia Mercantile. She's amazing. She used to be in Ito's. Now she's gonna be over there in the Heights. Maybe even like a little tea room. Cute. So I have her teas and like a little few baked goods. So yeah, it's a little different style.
I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, and it's basically all the things that I loved growing up, like my dad's spiced tea, my grandmother's pound cake, just things that go back to my Creole roots, Houston vibes, and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love it.
So
yay, I'm excited.
I haven't even announced it yet, so I'm announcing it. It comes out. I'm doing like Merry Plant Miss and announcing it for.
Okay. This episode will be out January 4th.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the week that. Oh,
yeah.
Happy birthday, Plant Product Heights.
Yeah, I'll do a little clip for you.
Okay. Cool.
Yay! So excited. Okay, what is your wine of the week?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I am so tired of people thinking that they need to open a store. Look, I just thought about my opening a store. No. I want people to know that you don't have to let the internet rush you and let people rush you and let society rush you. I think so many people are rushed to do stuff that they think that they need to do to gain social media clout. So I am so tired of people opening up shops when you don't need to open up a shop.
Give me an example of like, obviously not a company, but like
no,
the type.
Like, okay, so for instance, if you have a market and you're doing, business like a pop-up and stuff, and you're doing amazing at that pop-up, yeah, you're doing amazing. It's a great thing. Your customers are coming to see you. They're rooting for you and stuff. When you go get a spot, you have rent. And that rent comes around. I just see so many people fall into like the hold so they can just go up and hold a picture of a key dangling like, hey, I got the thing.
Right.
And it's like, it's not even for yourself. It's
for the clout.
Yeah. So that's been a huge wine of mine. Okay. So, yeah. And I say that as I opened up another shop, but yeah.
Well, what you're saying, because it's almost like people might feel the pressure, like you said, from social media to feel like that's.
And they're like, oh gosh, well, this person just opened them. Okay, so I need to too. I need to do like, no,
or
you
I'm
don't.
only successful if I have
exactly. You're not.
Right.
Like, I look at, you're not. You just.
If you can do it, stick with it, e-commerce, and do the pop-ups.
Yes, do that. You have no overhead. Your whole thing that you want to do, no overhead. And of course, you're making a lot of money and you're doing what you're doing. You're feeling great and stuff when you go and do this thing because you have no overhead. I remember when Carlos and I were building tables in our garage, we were making so much money. And because guess what? We had no overhead.
Just doing it in the garage. Yeah.
So, yeah. And when we opened like the little showroom and stuff and did the thing, and I was one of those. I did the whole picture. I had the long post. I had the holding the key. I did it all. And it's just like, I should have stayed my black ass in my garage making these tables. And I was not ready yet. But I let myself rush me and the thing. So yeah, that's my wine.
Okay. Valid.
Yeah.
Well, I won't be opening up a podcast studio.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
No,
okay.
Yeah, here for a
this
while.
is good. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we have said several places, but where can everyone find you on socials and all that stuff? I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, cool. So the Plant Project at the Plant Project, 2 underscores afterwards. That's on Instagram. Facebook is the Plant Project, and then the -plantproject.com is online, or the Iman Project. So that's THEIMAN Project, and that's on Instagram, Facebook, World Wide Web.
www.
Yeah. Located in Montrose Collective, next to Missouri and Picnic and Ghani, all the cool little shops and things, and a great wine bar is across the way.
Wine bar?
Yeah, Fiora's bottle shop.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
yeah, it's really good. And Graffiti Raw, Marmo and stuff. And then in Dallas, we're in Uptown.
Okay.
Right by Hotel Zaza and Crescent Court. Love and it. Then in the Heights, we will be off of West 19th Street by Bungalow and Native Citizen.
Can't wait.
And it's Juliana, the wedding venue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so we're right across the street from that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing your background.
I know. Making me cry. Shame on you.
Listen, we all take responsibility for our own
actions.
Yeah,
we do. We do.
No, this was really amazing, and first of all, I'm excited. I'm embarrassed about my fake plants, but I'm excited to be getting more.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get you real ones.
You're gonna get me right. Okay, Whiners. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Hey.
Oh my.
You do one every week?
I'll do one every week.
Girl.